what's the date today? Well, any which way it will become a history tomorrow, right? History is as simple as that. You may have heard people say, I find history very boring because it's all about memorizing dates, right? Well, to a large extent, yes. But the events involving the dates are a lot more interesting too. Let's see how. Do you sometimes ask yourself historical questions about what you see around yourself? Do you think I'm crazy? No. Like when watching someone sip a cup of tea, you may wonder like I do, when did people begin to drink tea? Looking out of the window of a train, you may ask yourself, when were railways built? And how did people travel long distances before the trains were invented? History is certainly about changes that occur over time. It is about finding out how things were in the past and how things have changed. People in India did not begin drinking tea one fine day. They developed a taste for it over time. There can be no one clear date for a process such as this. Similarly, we cannot fix one single date on which British rule was established, or the national movement was started, or changes took place within the economy and society. All these things happened over a stretch of time. So why then do we continue to associate history with a string of dates? There was a time when history was an account of battles and big events. It was about rulers and their policies. Historians wrote about the year a king was crowned, the year he married, the year he had a child, and the year he fought a particular war, the year he died, and the year the next ruler succeeded to the throne. Our date becomes important when we focus on a particular set of events as important. The histories written by British historians in India began with the rule of the first Governor General, Warren Hastings, and ended with the last Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten. In separate chapters, we read about the deeds of others. Hastings, Wellesley, Bentinck, Dalhousie, Canning, Lawrence, Lytton, Ripon, Curzon, Harding, and Irwin. All the dates in these history books were linked to these personalities, to their activities, policies, and achievements. Can we not write about the history of this period in a different way? Why not? When we write about history or a story, we divide it into chapters. Why do we do this? It is to tell a story in a way that makes some sense. In this process, we focus on only those events that helps us to give shape to this story we are telling. To write about the history of India and Indians during the British rule, clearly we need another format. A new set of dates will become more important for us to know. Why do we try and divide history into different periods? We do so in an attempt to capture the characteristics of a time, so the terms through which we periodize, that is, demarcate the difference between periods, becomes important. In 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, published a massive 3-volume work, A History of British India. In this, he divided Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. Moving away from British classification, historians have usually divided Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. So how does a date becomes important? Literary sources. Original documents such as government reports, administrative records, and survey reports of the British serve as the literary source of this period. They are preserved in archives and museums. Official records. Every decision or policy was recorded with the aim to preserve. The executive, legislative, and judicial departments had record rooms for this purpose. The village tehsildar office, the collectorate, the law courts, etc. had record rooms. Survey reports. British carried out surveys to assess population, revenue, land, crop yield, etc. The main purpose was to know the geography, soil content in different parts of the country, fertility and soil type, flora and fauna, etc. The native records are diaries and accounts of travelers. These accounts are full of patriotic feelings and sentiments during the time of British rules. The educated Indians wrote in English, and plenty of work is found in vernaculars as well. Dadabhai Naoroji wrote Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. This book talks about the oppressive and exploitative nature of the colonial rule. Bal Gangadhar Tilak started the newspaper Kesari in Marathi that brought about awareness among the people to rise against the British rule.